online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,640, silver at $18.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,210. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as East Asian countries continue to struggle with the spreading coronavirus, a senior member of the International Olympic Committee has warned that the Tokyo Olympic Games may be canceled if authorities fail to contain its spread within the next 2 to 3 months. Long-standing IOC member Dick Pound told the Associated Press on Tuesday that if fears aren't calmed by around May, organizers would have no choice but to cancel the Games, rather than postpone or move them. Since the viral outbreak began in China 2 months ago, over 80,000 people have been infected worldwide, with 2,700 dying, mostly in China. However, NHK World reports that as of Tuesday, 861 people in Japan are confirmed to be infected. Japan has reported 4 deaths so far. We'll have more on the coronavirus coming up. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. While mom and dad on Main Street still aren't getting the dire warning that the coronavirus has been offering up to Asia and the rest of the Eastern world over the last several weeks, perhaps a light bulb will finally go off when Jane Q. Public heads to the grocery store and is unable to buy shampoo and toothpaste. Activist Post reports that Procter & Gamble, one of the world's biggest everyday product manufacturers, has now officially warned that 17,600 of its products could be affected and disrupted by the coronavirus. The company's CFO, John Mueller, said at a recent conference that Procter & Gamble used 387 suppliers across China, shipping more than 9,000 materials, according to CIPS.org. Mueller said that each of the suppliers faces their own challenges in resuming operations. And it's not just everyday consumer goods that are going to be feeling the impact of the virus. Federal law enforcement in Seattle sought an average of 1 court order a day to disclose people's sensitive information, such as calling history, in the first half of 2019. According to a report released this year. The report, the first of its kind by the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington, shows that officials sought 182 applications and orders for electronic surveillance between January and June 2019. Activist Post reports that such surveillance orders do not require law enforcement to get a warrant and are directed to third parties like phone companies, email providers, and other online services to demand private and revealing information about their users. Although the report does not provide specifics on the services or individuals targeted by the surveillance orders, it does detail how federal law enforcement in the region are using various forms of surveillance. The report is a result of a lawsuit by EFF's client, The Stranger. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
George W. Bush may be retired from politics, but he's keeping busy with his new hobby of painting. Today, the Picasso-in-chief tweeted his latest picture, a turkey sandwich and glass of lemonade in front of the ghost of the Iraqi child that follows him everywhere. Rebecca Mera has been following the flourishing art career. He's pretty good, Rebecca.
Yeah, well, Rachel, Bush doesn't claim to be a great artist, but as he put it, not bad for an old man, huh?
Not bad at all. He says he likes painting simple things he sees in everyday life, like his dogs, that dead Iraqi child. You can see that Bush's art is improving over time if you take a look. At first, he could barely draw the Iraqi child's transparent hands, but now they look much more realistic.
Much more. You know, I'm not surprised that he's getting better. Bush practices constantly.
And Laura Bush says he's more focused than ever, locks himself away for hours at a time and won't talk to anyone while he's painting.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if history will look back on Bush as a politician or the next Rembrandt. Up next, a study found that drinking red wine once a day can help the body get hammered.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And it wouldn't be a day of the week without the government doing stupid things. But
they do that on days that end in Y.
They do. And apparently some alleged white supremacist has been charged with making interstate threats for calling the police on people. And
well, that is a threat.
It is, absolutely. But it's surprising that the government would recognize calling its own enforcement team on other people to be an interstate threat.
Yeah, I mean, we all recognize that he's calling psychotics on people, but you'd think they wouldn't be aware of that.
So this alleged white supremacist, and who knows why they're alleging that he's a white supremacist. He may simply just have an 8chan account or whatever. He has been arrested for several Virginia swatting events and attempts to swat New York-based news organizations. So it's not just a simple matter of, calling the police on people, but when you swat someone, you do literally call the police on people. And
yeah, I mean, it's a bad thing to do. Oh,
for sure.
I'm just delighted that that the government is now saying, don't call the cops; they're too dangerous.
Well, they definitely are. But a Texas man, and this is how it gets interesting and becomes a matter of interstate threats, believed to be the former leader of a white supremacist group, was arrested today for allegedly conducting several swatting events in Virginia with plans to call in 2 more in New York, federal prosecutors said. He's John Cameron Denton, being charged with conspiracy to commit an offense against the United States and interstate threats to injure after he and several other co-conspirators planned multiple swatting calls.
Wow.
So calling the police on people in other states constitutes interstate threats to injure.
Well, I mean, they do that.
They do indeed.
And there's probably not a law against interstate threats to kill your dog.
It's amazing that calling the police on people, however, is both, according to prosecutors, a harassment tactic, and according to the DA or whoever filed these charges, an interstate threat to injure. I mean, that is what the police do, but the state isn't really supposed to admit that.
Yeah, they seem to be exposing their true nature.
So Denton, allegedly a former leader of the Atomwaffen division in Texas, whatever that is.
Atomwaffen?
Atomwaffen.
Okay.
Planned swatting events throughout the Eastern District of Virginia, including a cabinet official living in Northern Virginia and some other places. Prosecutors also allege that Denton planned to target 2 more entities in New York. ProPublica's office, they're a nonprofit newsroom that produces investigative journalism, and a reporter who worked there. They claim he targeted both after they identified and discussed his role in the Atomwaffen division. So white supremacist gets outed for being a white supremacist, and his solution to that is to call the police on people, which I'm not a fan of calling the police on anyone, but evidently doing so can land you facing federal charges for interstate threats to injure.
Yeah, that's a bizarre one.
It is, but if convicted, he faces a maximum of 5 years in prison. He's not the only person we know who's being in trouble, it seems, for making interstate threats. Did you happen to hear any of the updates yesterday? What's going on with Christopher Cantwell?
I heard that it was taken under advisement, but that's all I've got.
Yeah. So this whole making interstate threats thing, it's dangerous when we live in a world that has the internet, where it's really easy to just make a threat. More often than not seriously, right?
Mm-hmm.
People do this in games and stuff all the time, but suddenly you could be facing federal charges.
Yeah, and especially if you're politically unpopular.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem, is that, you know, one group or one person may make threats with impunity for years. Antifa is an example. People almost never take action against Antifa for threats, but if people respond in kind to Antifa...
Well, Antifa isn't an organization where people can make threats. Like the Atomwaffen division here or whatever, they had an actual organization and a leader who could make threats, and the Atomwaffen division presumably could be responsible for that.
Okay.
But Antifa would be more like the keen group of libertarians here. You know, if one of us was to make a threat against someone, it's not like the keen libertarians are responsible for that.
True, but nonetheless, Antifa members do regularly advocate violence. And although I have no love for Nazis, the problem is the definition of Nazi spreads, and it becomes anybody who isn't a communist. And that's not good for me because I'm not a communist. I'm
also not a Nazi, though.
Well, yeah, I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a communist, but it's not, I mean, I get called a Nazi all the time because, you know, I won't get behind Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Tragic that we've become so divided that if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But that's what government is, because government is a weapon you use against people. So
yeah, it's a hate cell.
Exactly. So you know, politics will always be that way, because it's always, I mean, it's when you're trying to pass a law, you're trying to use violence against people.
Here, though, now that you know, you mentioned Cantwell earlier before the show, we have a white supremacist who is being charged with making interstate threats that he made allegedly over Telegram, which is a chat-based app. And here we have a white supremacist being charged with almost the same offenses for calling the police on people. Evidently, he met with an undercover law enforcement officer unknowingly and allegedly told the undercover officer about his role in the swatting conspiracy. Denton allegedly stated that he used a voice changer when he made the swatting calls, and allegedly admitted that he swatted the offices of ProPublica and the investigative journalist. Now, one has to wonder, at what point in this are the SWAT teams responsible? If you're a SWAT team and you get called to go SWAT raid a journalist office or a news office, at what point in that is the SWAT team or the people in charge of the SWAT team not supposed to exercise a little bit of discretion, go, you know what, this doesn't make sense? What would they be doing at this news office that would be freaking worthy of being raided by a SWAT team?
Well, generally, I mean, they're not responsible or held responsible for the things they do. I mean, generally the rule is if a peasant screws up, the peasant has to pay. If a cop screws up, a peasant has to pay. If the prosecutor screws up, a peasant has to pay. If the judge screws up, a peasant has to pay. And if the legislature screws up, the peasants have to pay. There's a very strong pattern here.
Yes.
The peasants always pay.
I don't know if I consider myself to be a peasant. I know the state certainly
know
does.
that they consider you to be a peasant.
Well, they can consider me what they want.
Because it's a great big club and neither of us are in it.
No, and to be in it, you almost have to be a billionaire or at least a millionaire. I think the average net worth of the House of Representatives is like $4 million. So, I mean, it's an oligarchy all the way through, and people just don't seem to get that.
Yeah, they think the government's going to defend them from the oligarchy which controls the government. And I've never understood that reasoning.
And the solution for millennials upset about the rule by the rich that we have with corporations is to vote for Bernie Sanders, multimillionaire beach house owner, 855-450-3733.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Free Talk Live.
What is your goal? What do you want of this revolution that you speak of?
You got to stir things up enough for the people will actually revolt in a big way.
And what will that result in?
Millions of people in the streets, you know, and the military guys ain't going to like it.
So what is your goal? You don't really know, do you? You don't really know what you want besides chaos.
A bloody revolution in the streets is
You
the
want a
only
bloody
way.
revolution? This is why I don't want to associate with people like you. Thank you for the call. You're dangerous and crazy, in my opinion, if you're talking about bloody revolution. Violent revolution just results in more violence in the future because the people who were the most violent are the ones that rise to power in whatever new power structure is created after the revolution's all over and done with, after the blood has spilt. Whoopee-doo, you've changed out one gang of criminals for another gang of thugs.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And are you 100% sure that you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have doubts? Well, Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, those numbers take me off guard every single time I see them. You can't wait to take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of just building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, is available for free at cfoproject.com. That's cfo-project.com. So go get your free copy now. I was thinking during the break, we were talking about the act of swatting people being across state lines, clearly, according to federal prosecutors, being considered an interstate threat to injure. What possible ramifications would this have for people in general, especially busybodies who call the police on other people? Like you see all of these news stories of black men being shot because some busybody thought they had a gun and called the police, and the police showed up and killed this man. Are we going to see the people who involved the police there indicted for threats to injure? And ultimately fulfilling those threats?
I doubt it.
It seems like this is a way to escape the actual problem, which is a lack of police accountability. Instead of holding the police accountable and responsible for these aggressions, you hold the person who called the police responsible for them.
Irresponsibly using a dangerous weapon against people.
Yes. Well, let's go to the phones. We've got Jason calling. Oh, I accidentally clicked the drop button. Jason, please. Wow, that was rough. Jason, please call back. I did not mean to do that. But,
poor Jason.
Yeah, I straight just clicked the drop button by accident. I was going for the air button and hit the wrong one.
Yeah, that's not it.
No. So Miami is holding an anti-communist concert, evidently, after Sanders, who we mentioned a moment ago, as being one of these rich old white socialists that people are begging to take care of them for whatever reason. But okay, awesome. Jason has called back. Jason, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for taking my call. I do appreciate it. Where's Ian? I always miss Ian. I always like when he's in the studio.
Ian is here, but he's busy.
Can he come on the camera? Just say hi, just wave. Oh, there he is. I just seen him. Hey, what's up, Ian? What's up? I just wanted to tell him, I don't know if he realizes, did you know that Free Talk Live, this is unbelievable to me. Free Talk Live was like number 25 or number 26 on Talker Magazine's Heavy 100 or whatever for the biggest radio hosts in all of America. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were aware of it.
Yeah, we tracked that. We're on 200 stations.
More than 200.
Plus,
yeah,
I should say.
I think it's like 204 at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate the shout out. Did you call about any subject in particular? It says you're a libertarian convert, so I have to ask, was it Free Talk Live that converted you to libertarianism?
Oh, that's funny. No, not exactly. I will say, though, I I was very much opposed to the whole belief system of being a libertarian. I sort of looked down on it for when I was younger and sort of almost made fun of it in a way. But I had sort of an inciting incident, something that took place in my life that was very impactful and totally brought me around to the idea of being a libertarian.
And what was that?
I was kicked in the head by a horse.
Ah, I see. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And
interesting. Was it a police horse?
He hung up. All that. And that was the ultimate joke that he had. Was that he doesn't like libertarianism. Which is unfortunate, because I would have liked to have had a conversation with him about what he thinks is wrong with the ideology. But hey, whatever.
Well, also, we should talk to Vermin Supreme, because, that may be a way to bring people around. And he's got ponies. He's got lots and lots of ponies. So we could have an outreach technique there.
Get kicked in the head by a pony for freedom.
There you go. It's
perfect. So Sanders recently came out and praised the Castro regime, the one that, thousands of Cubans have died trying to escape from, for its literacy program. And I will admit, if you look at the stats, Cuba has the highest literacy rate in the world, but this is coming from the Cuban government, the socialist Cuban government. It's like taking North Korea's word for it.
Yeah, although one thing is, generally totalitarian governments will have high literacy rates, and the reason is because that's part of their propaganda establishment. In the process, free education is re-education. Yeah. It gives the state an opportunity to come in and force ideas into your head. The problem is, once you're literate, you can't get anything worth reading. It's not like you can get 1984 or Brave New World or Atlas Shrugged in Cuba. You can only get books that talk about how wonderful communism is.
Viva la Revolution.
Yeah.
So Miami will hold an anti-communist concert in April in response to Democratic presidential frontrunner Senator Bernie Sanders' defense of Fidel Castro's authoritarian regime in Cuba, according to a report. Now, Fidel Castro is, he's dead, right?
Very much.
It's his brother who's leading things now, and his brother's been making some pro-freedom, very light pro-freedom moves or something.
He's loosened the iron grip somewhat, but not very much.
Okay. Our city represents the stories of countless individuals who have risked their lives to flee communism, said communist Mayor Francis Suarez, mentioning Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. The Miami Herald reported. Of course, they didn't point out that he's a communist, but as you pointed out, more than likely, the city of Miami is paying for this concert, and the whole thing is socialist anyway.
Fighting socialism by socialist means. I hope it's privately funded, but I doubt it.
Each and every life that has fled communism has proven how the will to pursue democracy and freedom, even in the face of oppression, can never be suppressed or silenced, he added. In an interview Sunday on CBS News 60 Minutes, which I haven't seen, Sanders praised Castro's literacy efforts when he took over Cuba in 1959. So that's all it takes to justify your actual literal military takeover of a country, is teach people how to read. And then in Sanders' book, it's totally okay. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Nobody.
And Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. Definitely the place you want to go to if you want to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash. They make it super easy. So we're talking here about Bernie Sanders' recent praise for the Castro regime in Cuba. because, they took over the Cuban government in their glorious revolution or whatever they're calling it, because it's going to be something along those lines. And they then taught a lot of people how to read, which was really nice of them. They did not, however, teach how to read the 50,000 estimated people who were killed in, I can't think of the term, firing squads. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. By 1968. So within, 2 decades of Castro taking power, roughly, and we don't have exact numbers here because, it's a dictatorial regime that doesn't release, how many people it killed. But between 30 and 40,000 people were put to death in firing squads within 2 decades.
Yeah, when I was making the transition to libertarianism, I was living in Tampa, Florida, and Orlando, Florida. And one of the things that got me was meeting people at AA meetings who were Cuban and who had escaped from Cuba during the Castro regime, and hearing what it was really like, and it was horrific. I mean, they would announce, "Oh yeah, if you want to go to America, we'll let you leave." So people would show up and they'd stand in line. It's like, "Okay, well, yeah, we'll let you leave, but first we're going to throw you in a work camp for a few years." And they would separate the families and they would throw them in work camps. And, if they weren't dead in a few years, they might let them go.
I certainly don't remember ever hearing any stories about people fleeing the horrors of freedom and capitalism.
Yeah. Nobody's building boats out of garbage to try and escape to Cuba for a better life.
So Sanders said when Fidel Castro came to office, you know what he did? And I wish we had Johnson here to do his Sanders voice for this. He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing, even though Fidel Castro did it? No, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like he's trying to say it as a good thing that Castro did in order to outweigh, the 40, 50,000 people who were estimated to have been killed by firing squads, not to mention the people who died in work camps and things like that.
Yeah.
Or the people who died trying to flee the nightmare.
Yeah, Elian Gonzalez's family.
In a CNN town hall Monday night, Sanders doubled down on his remarks, saying that Castro went out and they helped people learn to read and write. The truth is the truth, and that's what happened in the first years of the Castro regime.
Yeah, I can just imagine the guy, about to be put to the firing squad, and the priest is counseling him and says, this is really awful that they're going to kill you, but in a few years we'll have a 15% higher literacy rate, so you can take some comfort from that.
Well, according to the numbers released by the Cuban government, which aren't going to be reliable because they're numbers released by the Cuban government, it's almost 99%. It's the highest in the world.
It's 15% higher than it was before he took over, is my understanding.
But it's still a lie. It's like in 1984 when they were talking about manufacturing boots. In all likelihood, there were no boots manufactured at all. In all likelihood, the literacy rate in Cuba hasn't changed. The Cuban government just wrote down that it had.
That may well be true. Certainly it's hard to say because the Cuban government lies, but the American government also lies. So,
that's what governments do.
Exactly. Everything the government says is a lie and everything they have is stolen. So it's really, it's difficult to know what the truth is.
So Sanders' comments immediately sparked controversy in South Florida, where many who escaped Cuba under Castro now live. Suarez said the Vermont Independent left out the evils of Castro's rule. Well, I mean, even Adolf Hitler had some positive social welfare programs for the German people, right?
Yeah, Mussolini made the trains run on time. That's what he was famous for.
So it's not like any of these evil dictators have not done good things for the society, but at the same time, they did that with the blood of tens of thousands or even millions.
Yeah, I mean,
how high does the literacy rate have to be to justify the murder of 50,000 innocent people? I would say
I can't even begin to approach the calculus of that question. I don't know how to make that calculation.
But that's the calculation that Bernie Sanders and people who support him and Fidel Castro expect us to make. I would argue that killing even one person.
If you listen to what he said, he didn't say, he did the literacy program so everything was good. He did acknowledge that it's a dictatorial regime, that it's but then he throws that out as kind of, but it did do this, and I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish with that. I really don't.
And he said this in Florida, of all places, it would seem.
Yeah, it's the wrong place to make that statement because, if your family has been killed by that particular dictator, you're not going to be impressed with that statement. It's not going to work for you.
But that's the ultimate in progressive arrogance, though, is you have this old rich white dude from Vermont going to Cuba, lecturing all the Floridians about how great socialism really is. And yeah, you may have to kill 40 or 50,000 people, but you know what? You increase that literacy rate by 15%.
Yeah, one of my favorite Bernie Sanders spoofs. He didn't actually do this, but was a article from I think the Babylon Bee saying that he was going to Hong Kong to try to educate the protesters on how good they really have it under communism.
I'm not surprised. I mean, we do have people who fled the Soviet Union, people who fled other communist dictatorial regimes coming to the United States who go out to these pro-Sanders events and these pro-communism marches and things like that and start asking these typically millennials questions about communism that they clearly don't know the answers to. And the communists want to lecture these people who fled the very horrors that they're talking about on how, no, it totally wasn't like that. And if it was like that, then it was just misapplying what they were actually supposed to be doing. And if they were applying it correctly, they do the very same gaslighting in support of communism that Trump supporters do in support of Trump. Well, he didn't mean that. And if he did mean it, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And that's what you hear about communism. Oh, well, that wasn't real communism. And if it was real communism, well, it simply wasn't real communism. It was never real communism.
Almost communism sure did kill a lot of people in the last century, though.
Yeah, compared to almost capitalism, which generally doesn't have a very high death toll.
It's true.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Yeah. Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
I'm here with Scott Useum, founder of OMG Tax. Tell us how your company helps our listeners out there who have a problem with the IRS.
My team of lawyers, enrolled agents, and licensed tax experts remove wage garnishments sometimes in the same day. We even have reduced the total debt some of our clients were required to pay through what is known as an offer in compromise.
Can you give us an example of somebody you help?
Oh, can I ever? We have taken a $500,000 liability with the IRS. Guess what? The client didn't pay a dime through the representation known as non-collectible status with the government.
If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you want to see if it's possible to pay a lot less, call OMG Tax right now for a free tax-saving consultation.
Call 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. That's 800-486-8112.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Really pretty on the road.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And I want to tell you about the Edge wallet. It's the mobile wallet I use for actually holding, trading, making purchases, and all of that for my cryptocurrencies. It's user-controlled, so you always control your own money. It's non-custodial, so it's your money. It supports Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, and many more. Being built by a veteran team since 2014 with a tagline of Secure Your Freedom. You can find out more about it by visiting edge.app. Again, that's edge.app, or you can just download it directly from the Google Play or iOS stores. It's really a good wallet, by far my favorite.
It's probably one I've used the longest. And seemed developed the best.
I've used Coinami the longest, but I hate it. So,
yeah, I don't hate it. I don't feel like I pay a whole lot. Who knows what happens on their end? But Edge Wallet certainly is one that hung in there pretty good.
Edge is faster because it requires me to just use a PIN to sign in instead of Coinami, which requires me to, do this massive password that I set every time I want to send cryptocurrency. So if I'm in line at like Corner News or something, it's tedious to open up Coinami, enter this gigantic password that I set in order to,
And they have some sort of really easy password or sort of non-seed phrase recovery thing going on.
Edge?
Yep, right.
With their username and password system?
Right, so that is your recovery key?
I'm not exactly sure. I think there is.
know.
I think the 24-word passphrase thing does actually underline the entire system.
Right.
But their database links that up to your username and password. I don't know the details about it.
Yeah, I haven't had to rescue anything from it yet, so I'm not sure yet.
I don't either, I haven't either. But in the event that their servers go down, you would want that information in order to, recover
always keep those private keys.
Yeah, for sure. And they are accessible with the Edge wallet. But in other cryptocurrency news, Homeland Security has unveiled its Bitcoin snooper force to crack down on unlicensed Bitcoin businesses. Coming to us from decrypt.co, the Department of Homeland Security has developed a method to pry on unlicensed crypto businesses operating on the darknet and peer-to-peer sites, like local.bitcoin.com, presumably.
Unlicensed meaning people who aren't begging for permission to do the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
For people who aren't asking government permission to use their own money in a way that they want.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like voodoo magic.
Yeah, It sounds like government. This, according to the Department of Homeland Security, will provide closer scrutiny into areas posing a significant challenge to law enforcement. Within its budget summary for the fiscal year 2021, the DHS detailed the Cryptocurrency Intelligence Program, a cryptocurrency-centric initiative to trail unlicensed crypto companies partaking in money laundering services activities. Now, you have to remember, the federal government's definition of money laundering is so broad that almost anything will fit.
Yeah, money liberty, maybe. I think that's the word. Like, anytime I hear laundering, I hear, like, it's really liberty, because they're pissed about you using the money somewhere in a way they don't like without asking.
So the Cryptocurrency Intelligence Program identifies unlicensed money services businesses in the form of independent cryptocurrency brokers' use of peer-to-peer sites, presumably like local.bitcoin.com and probably localbitcoins.com. I don't know.
I don't know what they're up to either.
Does the article say if they're outsourcing this or they, have their own little team they're doing it? I'm thinking they're probably outsourcing.
They seem to have their own little team that is part of the Department of Homeland Security.
Because there are companies that, do this sort of thing happily for, nice big fat government checks.
So they're also looking at online forums and classified advertisements and darknet markets to engage in unlicensed money services businesses activity, reads the overview. Oh, wait. Developed by the Bulk Cash Smuggling Center. I can't even imagine what that is. An investigative bureau tasked with hunting illegal funds. So
that's the name of that agency, the Bulk Cash Smuggling Center?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like a government agency.
It does not. That sounds like something that is avoiding a government agency.
Right.
Poorly with the name like that.
It's like alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. That should be a convenience store, not a government agency.
It probably is for the people that work there.
The CIP will hone in on funds originating from narcotics proceeds, which allegedly make up a large portion of unlicensed activity. Now, that's long been proven to be not true. Even the government has admitted that. You do have a lot of talking heads who like to tarnish cryptocurrency by saying that, it's only used to buy illicit drugs on the dark web and things like that. But then you have the government.
Cash is never used for that.
No, and then you have the government coming out and going, yeah, no, that's not at all really what's happening. I mean, those people would use Monero, maybe, but they're not using Bitcoin. They were like 8 years ago, but they're not now.
Okay, having been on the dark web, there are definitely still people using Bitcoin on the dark web.
Yeah, and they're like 2 years away from going to prison.
Well, I would say so, and that's kind of the purpose of this agency. But
if we're really lucky, there won't be any prisons in 2 years.
That's true.
Well,
okay.
I don't feel lucky though.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see this whole government falling down around their ears relatively quickly because, the level of hatred that you see now between, the people who want to control our lives from the left and the people who want to control our lives from the right is truly astounding. I've never seen such vitriol.
I think
politics.
Economic collapse is more likely than that sort of thing. Especially you've got this coronavirus. I don't know if people are paying attention in China, but China's about to starve. They've been having to throw away just massive amounts of food because they had no one to harvest it. And if there was someone to harvest it, they couldn't deliver it because they're under quarantine. So it just sat there rotting. Or it was covered with the virus or whatever. I don't know.
It sounds like some sort of way the government's just going to cull some people.
Oh, they're calling some people, all right.
Yeah, and it seems like, from what I've been seeing, that at the same time they're dealing with this virus, which, of course, may or may not be real, but
I think at this point we have to admit that the virus is real.
It certainly seems that way. If it's a fake, they're doing an excellent job at it.
Well, it's spread to Italy and Iran and some other places now.
Yeah, well, as soon as it spreads to a place where the government doesn't lie, we'll know for sure, but there isn't any such
Good luck.
place.
Where is that place?
Exactly. There's no place.
True, but in a lot of these places, it's not the government that are treating patients of the coronavirus.
True.
It's just, quote, private doctors and hospitals.
True.
Who are ultimately funded by the government, but they're not really government employees. I mean, they're government employees in the same sense that we're all government employees, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all ultimately, not all of us, some of us use cryptocurrency and avoid servicing the state.
Mm-hmm.
But most people are servicing the state in one form or another.
I think by default, we're not trustworthy of anything that has any sort of government tentacle anywhere near it. So when there's something bad, you don't have any idea what to believe sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. Although I personally think that it is going on, that it is that the virus is actually real. I actually think they're minimizing what's going on rather than blowing it out of proportion, which is unusual, and it generally means they're really scared.
Think about how much of our stuff comes from China. If they admitted if it was much worse than they've been suggesting, then all of these goods that people buy from China on a daily basis are going to be tainted with that virus because it lasts for weeks on surfaces.
Quite possibly. And also, we get a lot of our we get a lot of our drugs from China. We get a lot of our medical equipment from China. And they're not going to be enthusiastic about sending that stuff to us if they need it themselves.
Well, we don't know if they need it themselves, but whatever is going on, I think Americans are going to have a hard time acquiring Chinese goods in the very near future simply because the Chinese are starving.
Yeah.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you watch this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning, as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,640, silver at $18.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,210. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as East Asian countries continue to struggle with the spreading coronavirus, a senior member of the International Olympic Committee has warned that the Tokyo Olympic Games may be canceled if authorities fail to contain its spread within the next 2 to 3 months. Long-standing IOC member Dick Pound told the Associated Press on Tuesday that if fears aren't calmed by around May, organizers would have no choice but to cancel the games, rather than postpone or move them. Since the viral outbreak began in China 2 months ago, over 80,000 people have been infected worldwide, with 2,700 dying, mostly in China. However, NHK World reports that as of Tuesday, 861 people in Japan are confirmed to be infected. Japan has reported 4 deaths so far. We'll have more on the coronavirus coming up. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. While mom and dad on Main Street still aren't getting the dire warning that the coronavirus has been offering up to Asia and the rest of the Eastern world over the last several weeks, perhaps a light bulb will finally go off when Jane Q. Public heads to the grocery store and is unable to buy shampoo and toothpaste. Activist Post reports that Procter & Gamble, one of the world's biggest everyday product manufacturers, has now officially warned that 17,600 of its products could be affected and disrupted by the coronavirus. The company's CFO, John Mueller, said at a recent conference that Procter & Gamble used 387 suppliers across China, shipping more than 9,000 materials, according to CIPS.org. Mueller said that each of the suppliers faces their own challenges in resuming operations. And it's not just everyday consumer goods that are going to be feeling the impact of the virus. Federal law enforcement in Seattle sought an average of 1 court order a day to disclose people's sensitive information, such as calling history, in the first half of 2019, according to a report released this year. The report, the first of its kind by the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington, shows that officials sought 182 applications and orders for electronic surveillance between January and June 2019. Activist Post reports that such surveillance orders do not require law enforcement to get a warrant and are directed to third parties like phone companies, email providers, and other online services to demand private and revealing information about their users. Although the report does not provide specifics on the services or individuals targeted by the surveillance orders, it does detail how federal law enforcement in the region are using various forms of surveillance. The report is a result of a lawsuit by EFF's client, The Stranger. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. A crazy man announces plans to stand in a doorway and yell at cars. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Dennis Fife, an Alhambra, California crazy man, held a press conference today to announce his intention to stand in the doorway of the office building at 2600 Kenilworth Avenue and yell at cars all day.
At approximately 9:30 a.m. on the day in question, shortly after I finish lunging at dogs, I will proceed to the front steps of the Simmons building and yell loudly for 9 hours. The screaming will be broken by a 15-minute fit of rigid catatonia, most likely in the late afternoon.
Among the topics Fife plans to address during his 9-hour rant, the ace of diamonds, bookshelves, the man trying to kill him, plastic bags in trees, Trapper John MD, and papers everywhere. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And evidently, the government wants to wage war on what it considers to be criminal crypto, whatever that even is supposed to mean. They say that Bitcoin and other virtual currencies are the preferred payment method in darknet markets. And as Rich was saying, you might still be able to find some people who will take Bitcoin in darknet markets, but I imagine the bulk of them have done like ransomware and moved to Monero.
Not really. There's Monero out there, but I would say that Bitcoin is still the most widely used currency on the dark web markets that I have seen, which is not what I would like to be saying that it's Monero. I'd like to be saying that it's something different, but it does seem to be Bitcoin.
People would be using dollars if they could. Like if you could use your credit card, it wouldn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
They'd certainly use it.
The thing is, buyers, I mean, they don't have time and energy to go after the buyers on the dark web. They do have time and energy to go after the sellers sometimes, but the sellers are generally overseas, or at least most of the people I've bought from have been overseas.
I don't think that's a statement you want to make on national
radio.
Allegedly.
Well, I only bought constitutions, of course.
Okay, perfect.
You can buy anything, really.
You can.
Like useful, like anything. Your toilet paper.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess if you could buy toilet paper with Bitcoin, it would be preferable to buying it with USD.
Yeah, there are some websites. Open Bazaar had that still exists. I've recently learned about a new one, and it's a marketplace. Maybe some people sell some things, some find objectionable, but it's certainly like a kind of an Amazon or whatever sort of online shopping site you go to buy whatever thing you need.
Interesting. So it is common for unlicensed peer-to-peer exchangers to obtain their Bitcoin from selling illicit goods and services. I'm sorry, did I say common?
Yes.
They said, okay. I thought for some reason I said uncommon. So ICE says that it's common for unlicensed peer-to-peer exchangers to obtain their Bitcoin from selling illicit goods and services on darknet markets. Now, presumably, what it thinks those people out there who are selling cryptocurrency on peer-to-peer exchanges are doing is selling drugs or weapons or prostituting themselves or whatever on the darknet, and then turning around and selling that cryptocurrency on like local Bitcoins.
This is a thought crime because, like, if you think about it, you can't really touch the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or any of it. So it's just an idea, and you're just sending this idea across some other idea, and then they're going to put you in jail for your idea. That's the definition of a thought crime.
It is for sure.
Because we have to think about that idea, right? Or it's not an idea. We're not thinking about it.
Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general are better. I think a lot of these darknet sites would not take cryptocurrency. I mean, would not take credit cards and things like that if they could.
Of course not.
Because credit cards, I mean, despite being traceable and all of that, or more easily traceable, they're very easily reversed. And you can't reverse a Bitcoin transaction.
No,
not once it's got one confirmation. You can reverse it till then.
Well, with Bitcoin, maybe.
Yeah.
And if the wallet supports replaced by fee.
Right.
But is it even a transaction if it doesn't have confirmations, though?
Well, the transmission, it is a transaction in that a transaction exists in the mempool. It's just not on the blockchain yet.
Fair enough. Well, once it's in the blockchain, it cannot be reversed without a hard fork, which is what Ethereum did when they had like $80 million worth of Ethereum hacked back in 2016, I think it was.
Yeah, they just said reboot.
Yeah, they did. And I don't support Ethereum because of that.
Well,
Ethereum Classic came out and was like, no, the code at the time allowed for that to happen. Maybe the code was bad and you can change the code going forward. But if cryptocurrency is ever going to work, the code has to be law. You can't just retcon it and say, oh, well, that didn't work out, so we're going to change the value of $80 million worth of tokens.
Yeah, if you want hard money, it's hard. A hard money for me is one that the rules are really hard to change.
Yeah.
When they jacked those wallets from the Silk Road, though, for example, if the miners, the government jacked, they stole and auctioned a bunch of Bitcoin. If the miners had gotten together and said, we're going to 51% ourselves and make that Bitcoin turn to dust in the government's hands, then I would have had absolutely no objection to their doing that.
I wouldn't either, but I would stop using their currency because I don't want a cryptocurrency where 51% of the miners are ever going to agree on anything, because they could just as easily say, well, let's just give ourselves 99% of all the Bitcoin out there.
Yeah, this thing works because we believe in it.
But of course, if you do that, then you've destroyed the value of your own theft. So
true.
You've got it, but now nobody wants it.
Well, then maybe not 99%, maybe just a larger chunk of every transaction or whatever.
Yeah.
When 51%, what we're talking about there is essentially democracy and the 51% being able to unilaterally control whatever happens on the network. And as a freedom person, that makes me nervous. I would avoid any crypto that had that.
It definitely makes me nervous that it could be misused, but at the same time, if they had done that particular thing, I would not have held it against them, because even now I know that 51% could do whatever they want. I don't expect them to destroy the value of their own investments.
I don't know why you don't. The Bitcoin miners that ultimately decide, where the programming goes have been doing everything within their power to destroy Bitcoin.
Certainly some have, but a lot of, that's why we've got things like Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
But they haven't been doing everything in their power, in that if they wanted to, they could do random 51% attacks on the network. They've just not chosen to do that.
I suppose. At any rate, I don't like the idea of 51% of the network being controlled by ultimately a coalition, a union of people who have their own agendas and ideas. And I don't know if cryptocurrency can ever really avoid that possibility.
It would certainly be difficult to avoid. It's always a possibility because, you know, if they want to run a different version of the software, there's no way to stop them. You can't make them continue to provide what you consider to be the correct answers if they want to provide incorrect answers.
And that's literally how we ended up with Bitcoin Cash, was that some of them wanted this answer and some of them wanted another answer.
Yep, they didn't agree and it forked.
Yep.
Now you've got two different chains.
Yeah, but people who were holding a lot of Bitcoin at the time were super happy about it.
They have, that's certainly a consolation prize for somebody.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get your Bitcoin and your Bitcoin Cash. That's a beautiful thing. I was very pleased.
And then when Bitcoin Cash split into Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, same thing happened. Anybody who was holding a large amount of Bitcoin Cash was very happy with the outcome. And Bitcoin SV, as I understand it, Satoshi Vision by Craig, right?
That's what I hear.
Yeah. That's what we're referring to there. He's a lunatic, but it's the currency itself seems to still be doing okay.
Yeah,
It's got its
he's either a
supporters.
lunatic or an operative.
I think he's probably just a lunatic. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allows anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. Now, the coronavirus, we mentioned earlier, a lot of people are freaking out about it, and I just don't care.
Coronavirus is best if you put a little Lyme disease in it.
Yeah, I was wondering when if you haven't already, there's got to be a Corona commercial where they're going to reference this virus. Something about just kick back and have a Corona, and something about virus. You might die, but drink a beer. You're going to die anyways.
Yeah.
Well, having just gotten over or still getting over, as you can hear, I'm still a little bit congested. The flu, I would rather have the coronavirus than whatever strain of the flu I just dealt with for almost an entire month.
But did you die?
I'm not going to die of the coronavirus either. It only kills like old and very sick people.
Yeah, I heard on a podcast last night that
well, technically, no matter what disease kills you, you're very sick before you die. So
okay, yeah, fair point.
And they referenced what you just said about it's selectively killing people. And the podcaster mentioned that it was maybe not a bad thing that all the old people of the world die, because a lot of those people are in the power structure. Obviously, there's more old people than that would die, but most of the people who are really controlling things, they're probably the oldest.
Well, from what I've seen, if you're likely to die of pneumonia or the flu, then you're likely to die of the coronavirus. But if you're likely to survive the flu or pneumonia, then you're likely to survive the coronavirus.
Yeah, it's whether man made it or not. Mother Nature made man, and man made this. So she's like, one way we're going to sort of shake off some excess stuff here, maybe.
Maybe it's a secret answer to the Social Security being insolvent problem.
Maybe
they're like, hey, we can't pay for all these old people. Let's just kill them with the coronavirus.
Oh, I hope not, but I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, I can definitely see that happening. I can see it being a culling technique.
This is all just randomness
Chinese
too.
Might use, huh?
These are all just ideas. I have no proof of this other than
I don't believe for a moment that the government is trying to cull old people.
There's no telling, man. These
they
people
might
steal
one
from
day.
Government.
The who?
The Chinese government?
Possibly, but not the American government at this point. The American government screwed up, but it's not quite far gone enough to be like, let's just kill all the old people. The Chinese government, sure, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
But they kill people to harvest their organs and things like that. The American government, as yet, does not.
At least that we know yet.
Or if they do, they don't admit to it like the Chinese do.
But as fears spread of a wider coronavirus outbreak in the United States, I don't know why. There's been 20 reported cases in the United States?
I don't know. Who reports that? Like news outlets?
Yeah.
Yeah, CDC, which
viruses
not
are
known
interesting
for their honesty.
Especially outbreaks, because by the time you know that this virus exists and that it's spreading, it's already too late to prevent its spread.
Yeah, because it's got a very long incubation time.
Yeah, well, and that's going to be true of most viruses, though. Even if its incubation time is only 2 days or whatever, or 1 day. By the time you know that it's there and it's spreading, it's already, it's there and it's spreading because it's there and it's spreading.
Right.
You can't really stem that. It's just going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So fears are spreading of a wider coronavirus outbreak in the U.S., and experts in global health pandemics, as well as some of President Trump's leading political adversaries, contend that the federal government's response may be lacking a key figure, what they call a coronavirus czar, as though they don't know what that word means.
Somehow they got to tell a bunch of people what to do.
Yeah, basically, a Russian king, who Russian kings were well known for being autocrats. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's derived from the word Caesar, ultimately, that what they want is an appointed, not elected, an appointed dictator who, because of the coronavirus, can just decide things and force everyone to obey. What kind of lunatic wants that?
There are lots of them out there.
Well, that's also where the word dictator comes from. Is the if you look at the government of ancient Rome, that's what they would do when they had an emergency. Is they would appoint a dictator and just say, okay, this guy is going to solve the problem, and we're going to let him do whatever he wants to do it.
Yeah, and the last one they did that with was Julius Caesar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he became, the lasting dictator that created the Roman Empire.
See, all I know about Caesar, I know from the play Julius Caesar, and so there's a limit there. But I'm not sure if he had taken over as dictator or if those who killed him were merely afraid that he would become. I'm
pretty sure Caesar was a dictator,
but I don't know. I would have to look up the real history of that.
So this is what they want. The Trump administration to appoint a person, a czar, to implement a real plan to manage the coronavirus. An independent, nonpartisan, global health expert with real expertise, said Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Somebody who is a scientist, who knows these issues and can coordinate the myriad of federal agencies to fight and prevent American lives from being lost.
So they talk about where this guy worked before being appointed?
Who?
Whoever, the new czar.
We don't have one yet.
Oh, well, I saw a picture of somebody there that maybe it was a possibility. And my point being, good chance that the czar is coming from some probably drug company that maybe...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
The current head of Human Health and Human Services Secretary is Alex Azar. He's been leading the Trump administration's coronavirus task force because they've developed a task force to deal with this.
So where did that guy work before he got that job? That's good to know because there's a good chance. Let's just see.
He is a 52-year-old lawyer and former drug company executive.
I mean,
but of course.
Nobody sees this.
No. And it's amazing, isn't it? That it's just flagrantly staring them in the face. So this is just about money. It's about funneling money to drug companies. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And do you want to reach more people with the ideas of liberty? Well, do it from the back of your car with libertystickers.com. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, and you know people love to read them. Check out the vast selection.
Just wash your lips, and she can't do a thing with them.
Yeah, of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic, liberty-oriented messages at libertystickers.com. Again, that's libertystickers.com. I don't have any room left on the back of my car for bumper stickers, but if I did, I would go there and buy some.
You could peel one off or put that on top of it.
I was really disappointed. I love all the ones I got right now.
Put it on the side.
I don't want to do that. I was really disappointed earlier today, though, when I went online to find a Bitcoin lanyard and cannot find one. I can get some custom made, but...
You mean one that's already made? You can just buy an order and it shows up?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You maybe get some custom made and somebody will buy them from you.
I'm too lazy for that. I just want one.
Make sure you call Bitcoin and talk to them about that if it's okay to use the name.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Craig Wright.
Bitcoin? Does Bitcoin have a phone?
No, but Craig Wright does.
No, there's a number.
And he's Satoshi, so he would know, right?
Craig Wright can nurse on the snotty end of my meat whistle.
And my point was there's like nobody to call and ask for permission, so nobody cares. Do whatever you want.
Well,
it's true.
One of the did you happen to see when Derek J met Craig Wright and Craig signed the book and actually wrote in there, AKA Satoshi Nakamoto?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a great tweet.
Derek J. Freeman has a book with Craig Wright's signature in it?
He met Craig Wright and Craig Wright signed the book.
Yeah, a book he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And wrote in there, Craig Wright, AKA Satoshi. Like this dude, the level of delusion on this guy is just shocking.
And if you believe that, you'll buy this watch.
Their currency must work because they support it.
Yeah. So coming to us from CoinDesk.com, an article brought to us by Cheeky. Well, I don't even remember now.
Chico Crypto on YouTube. It's a guy I follow that gets some pretty good information.
Now, Chainalysis, because of how blockchain technology works, and Bitcoin in particular, all of these transactions ever made are publicly viewable and scrutinizable. If you may not be able to view all of the transactions sent from a specific wallet, but you can view everything sent to that wallet. And if you have enough time, you can, trace the Bitcoin all the way back to the Genesis block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's enough information there, and apparently there's enough computer power to pull in all these different factors and then make a decision about, like, okay, that was you that sent all that Bitcoin.
And one of the companies that does this investigating of the blockchain is called Chainalysis. And they have a lot of contracts with the federal government, it would seem, including the DEA, the FBI, ICE, the IRS, and the SEC, and, of course, the TSA. Their biggest contributing government agencies are the IRS and the FBI. No surprise to find the IRS being the biggest contributor, to the tune of $1.6 million last year, evidently.
And that's not a lot of money, so that kind of makes me think that, one, this program is exceptionally good, which is probably not the case.
Chainalysis is a private company, so they are probably pretty good at what they do.
Right, but those numbers are not big for government contracts.
That's
true.
I
mean, a room full of people or access to a program that is really that good, it's only $1 million. What little I know, the people that have Bitcoin knowledge, they're happy to give it, but they're really, really smart people. I mean, they're not going to want to deal with this.
No, I wouldn't want the money from the government anyway.
I think that's why they're hard-pressed to really do much. So I think the numbers are low here, so maybe they're just picking the easy stuff, like the people who are moving Bitcoin from exchanges where they have to know their person and they have to give them all sorts of identification.
Could be. Well, it all started with a $9,000 data software contract for the FBI in 2015. Evidently, that was the year in which Chainalysis wrote some software for the FBI. Which I don't know about anybody else out there, but I don't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that contract.
But just 5 years later, Chainalysis is now the cryptocurrency tracing equivalent of Palantir, the data analytics company flush with lucrative government software contracts. Chainalysis is, as of right now, doing millions of dollars worth of business each year with the U.S. government, dwarfing its competitors in the young industry of blockchain surveillance. The company is by far Uncle Sam's leading crypto analysis contractor by spending and has become the go-to firm for 10 federal agencies, departments, and bureaus.
First to the trough.
Yeah. In short, the feds want to catch up on and make sense of the tangled transactional web of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to stop, quote, all sorts of crimes, and they'll spend big to do it. Although, as Gray pointed out, $1.6 million really isn't very big spending for the federal government. I mean, they spend 4 times that much to build a crappy bathroom in a park in New York, you know?
Yeah.
I imagine that the debt number, whatever that many trillions of whatever dollars it is now.
23 trillion.
I imagine it goes up in this, like every second probably goes up $1 million or something. So whatever the number is, this is nothing.
Federal agencies you can go to debtclock.org and watch it trace up in real time. It's a fun experience, a terrifying experience when you think about the fact that, you know, this is destroying the money that people live by. But yeah, you can go to...
Which is, you know, best reason to get out of the dollar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But federal agencies have spent at least $10 million in American tax dollars on Chainalysis tools. What's interesting is that they haven't spent any of Americans' Bitcoin on these tools, services, and training since 2015, when Chainalysis was founded, according to 82 records of federal procurement contracts reviewed by CoinDesk.
I think they sell all that because I've heard it, and it makes sense to me that if they hang on to the Bitcoin, like in hopes it might go up, because, hey, it just happens to go up most of the time, that would legitimize the thing they're saying is illegitimate because now they believe in it.
Could be.
They tend to fire sell all that stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah, they auction it, I think.
Yeah. So I think
sounds like a good way to acquire crypto, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
stolen.
I'm sure it's
right.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but they have the guns. They do what they want.
Yeah. Counting contracts with possible extensions, the company stands to take in more than $14 million. No competing firms' federal contracts match Chainalysis, and none are as prevalent across agencies. CipherTrace, led by CEO David Jevons, has made about $6 million through mostly research and development contracts. And Elliptic, a British firm, has had only one contract worth $2,450 with the IRS. That poor company.
$2,000 company?
Yeah.
Contract?
Yeah.
Wow.
These are the early days. I imagine we'll see those numbers go up.
I can't imagine even like negotiating with the federal government for that kind of money, because it's like, you know, you need a dozen lawyers to deal with these idiots.
My local town charges is charged that much a month by their software system that runs the town. So it's not a big contract.
That is not even worth mentioning. You know,
so they mentioned it, but it's a good show. You know, there's people out there that don't really care about it, and they're just, you know, they're coming to that trough, and they're going to lap up all that good stolen money.
They are. And, you know, I guess it says something that the IRS is willing to pay $2,400 to some random British company for cryptocurrency. But at the same time, if they're just now to the point where they're spending $2,000 on this, then we have a really long time before they're able to do anything about crypto.
Amen.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back. Because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-976-1460. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, Do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-976-1460. That's 1-800-976-1460. 1-800-976-1460.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, Medicaid, or have private insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. Managing your diabetes is crucial to your health. The new CGM can automatically and easily help you manage your diabetes more effectively. And by using a CGM, you can eliminate the one thing most people with diabetes dislike the most: finger sticks. Now you can automatically manage your diabetes and end the painful finger sticks. Solara Medical Supplies makes it simple for you to have a new CGM. We'll do all the insurance paperwork for you and deliver the newest in diabetic care technology right to your door. Take charge of your diabetes today with the help of a new continuous glucose monitor. Call now to learn more. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. That's 800-547-5331.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in to talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And you can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June the 29th until July the 5th for Fork Fest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Fork Fest happens the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and Fork Fest is decentralized, so no one is in charge, which means everyone is in charge. It also means there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June the 29th until July the 5th. And where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can just relax and go camping, or you can create whatever experience or event you'd like others to have. If you're planning an event for Fork Fest, though, let others know in advance. You can connect with other Fork Festers via the unofficial Telegram chat or the Fork Fest forum Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. Once more, that's forkfest.party. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I look forward to it every year, but this year in particular, I think it's going to be the best yet.
What about it? What do you think that is? What are you excited to be there for? Other than the obvious, but one specific thing maybe.
It's relaxation, I guess.
It's definitely quiet there.
Yeah, It's peaceful, serene. It's a really pretty area.
Yeah,
of
right
New
in the
Hampshire.
side of a mountain, looking at more mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I lived outside New Hampshire, it was like my Gulch period, where it's like I could go and I could interact with people who, recognize reality, people who weren't trying to solve problems with government, and that's just good for my mental health.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I like being there. It seemed like it'd be a really cool place to live. Could find some way to live there and sort of sustain myself and my family, and I'd certainly try it for a bit.
Yeah, there's been talk about buying that campground, and it would be a great Free Stater colony, I think.
See, when people start talking
over
like
time.
that, I start separating myself from the discussion.
Well, I gotta be there
I don't want to
forever,
partake
so.
in a commune or a colony or any of that. I mean,
Maybe.
Okay,
I just want to show
you're
up
in a
and hang out.
town, which is a colony.
it's not a colony.
Well, I mean,
There's no
is
colonial
in
power
that-
overseeing us.
Some kind of power.
Sure, but it's
They
not
have
colonial
sticks.
I
in
think
nature.
any group of people
Guns.
living together is technically a colony. But no, I didn't say let's turn it into a commune.
I know,
That's,
but I've heard so many people throw the word commune around in regard to.
I don't even know what that
libertarianism
means,
here
really.
in-
Like,
well, generally,
It just sounds culty.
a commune would be something where the in my view where the property was commonly held, and that doesn't make sense to me. But a mobile home park makes perfect sense to me.
I don't mind some person or entity owning it that I can call and get some service from. If my toilet stopped, hey, I want you to come fix it, or the power went out or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to have to convince the majority of my neighbors that it's a good idea to fix my toilet, because the majority of my neighbors don't care.
So getting back to the story about Chainalysis, their contracts open a small but prescient window into the federal government's relationship with the cryptocurrencies that some use to evade detection. I don't think they know what cryptocurrency is or how it works.
No, they pay a company for that, and it doesn't look like they're paying them very much. So
Bitcoin is a pseudonymous system. I hate
it's
that word so much.
Kinda anonymous, but maybe
Yeah.
not so. Who knows?
Why not just say pseudo-anonymous? I mean, it would be so much easier to look at and pronounce.
Kinda.
With inherent traceability, a network moving billions of dollars in value on a public ledger that anyone can track.
Like $730 billion last year in
Really?
transactions. That was the number I heard also from this YouTuber.
Wow.
That's like more than MasterCard and other places. I can find that article too, but it speaks to the volume of the thing that nobody, they don't believe in. Some of us believe in it.
And although chain analysis data shows only 1.1% of Bitcoin transactions were illicit in 2019, that proportion is growing and is up 180% over the year before. So in 2018, something like 0.3% or 0.4% of Bitcoin transactions were illicit. In 2019, it got all the way up to 1%.
Well, how does anybody know?
We got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
But I mean, that's just proof from this agency that is bending over backwards to work for the federal government, evidently. And they're coming out and saying, yeah, 99% of Bitcoin transactions are not illicit. Or 98.9% rather.
Yeah, government money is fiat money is easy money.
Well, you can't do cocaine with a rolled up Bitcoin.
I don't think anybody has. Maybe the goldback people will create a Bitcoin goldback and put.
Well,
some,
you could probably use a goldback.
Yeah, they could serialize the goldbacks like the Casasius coins were.
You could print out a paper wallet and snort cocaine through that.
That's
if you
true,
wanted
but
to.
Stick with the goldback; it might not break down as bad.
That is true. I've never tried to roll one up though.
You just bought some. Try to roll up a goldback.
It rolls perfectly, I'm sure.
Do you have any cocaine?
It's been
No, but you don't need the cocaine to roll a goldback.
Well, that's true. Okay.
But it would be
just for the sake of science. Let's just see whether or not it's even possible. It looks like it would be, but it would probably not be super good for the bill.
And for those who don't know what the goldback is, it's a really piece of pretty technology that has real gold in it. That is pretty durable. It's in the shape of a little, almost like a dollar, depending on the size of the goldback. And I carried one in my wallet for quite a bit, and it doesn't really care. It just is probably more durable than the other thing, and it's certainly a lot prettier.
Oh, it's definitely more durable than the USD, which is just paper. I mean, this is
and this is privately made thing, which is more durable than the USD.
Yeah. Plus, it has actual gold in it.
That is the understanding.
Now, I saw someone post on Facebook because you can get one of these for free on some website. I don't know what, and I don't really care, but you can get one for free. One of my friends posted on Facebook because I talk about them fairly often. He's like, hey, I got my free one, blah, 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 blah. I feel so rich, being sarcastic. I was like, well, to be fair, you are richer holding that than you would be holding an entire stack of $100 bills printed by the U.S. government.
Yeah, it's a good chance at some point that big stack of $100 bills ain't going to get you a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah. The only thing keeping you wealthy when you're holding USD is that other people will take it.
Yeah, it's an idea.
Although if you did have a stack of $100 bills, I'm sure the goldbacks people would trade you more than one goldback for
at present,
so,
yes.
At present. Now, so I don't know. I see goldbacks as it's a way of actually holding the value of my money instead of having again dollars that are going to deteriorate every single year. People say minimum wage hasn't changed in X number of years, and I'm like, why should minimum wage have to change? Why should the money be getting less valuable over time anyway?
Yeah. I think an economic collapse of the United States government is ultimately inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes for the full distance into a full economic collapse, cryptocurrency is going to essentially be worthless for a while because no one's going to have electricity. And in that scenario, the goldbacks become very, 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 very valuable.
Certainly during a net outage, you can't use crypto.
Not completely true.
Yeah, you can use ham radios and stuff like that. It's been done, but it's...
Apparently there's a project where you can attach a satellite dish and you can synchronize the blockchain. So, you could theoretically send transactions over this satellite network.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to have electricity.
Which is easily attainable
has to be actually set up somewhere where you can get to it. Having seen something in a catalog doesn't give you the or on the net doesn't give you the ability to use that thing unless you actually have it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
You're going to do it?
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Cool. Let us know how it goes. I would still rather just, have some goldbacks set aside in the event of something like that.
Do it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Any way that we can take power from the state, and you can do that by using free money.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block, and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dynovite before they get into what I would call the misery index. bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic
And Cindy Lukasevic.
inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,640, silver at $18.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,210. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as East Asian countries continue to struggle with the spreading coronavirus, a senior member of the International Olympic Committee has warned that the Tokyo Olympic Games may be canceled if authorities fail to contain its spread within the next 2 to 3 months. Long-standing IOC member Dick Pound told the Associated Press on Tuesday that if fears aren't calmed by around May, organizers would have no choice but to cancel the games, rather than postpone or move them. Since the viral outbreak began in China 2 months ago, over 80,000 people have been infected worldwide, with 2,700 dying, mostly in China. However, NHK World reports that as of Tuesday, 861 people in Japan are confirmed to be infected. Japan has reported 4 deaths so far. We'll have more on the coronavirus coming up. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. While mom and dad on Main Street still aren't getting the dire warning that the coronavirus has been offering up to Asia and the rest of the Eastern world over the last several weeks, perhaps a light bulb will finally go off when Jane Q. Public heads to the grocery store and is unable to buy shampoo and toothpaste. Activist Post reports that Procter & Gamble, one of the world's biggest everyday product manufacturers, has now officially warned that 17,600 of its products could be affected and disrupted by the coronavirus. The company's CFO, John Mueller, said at a recent conference that Procter & Gamble used 387 suppliers across China, shipping more than 9,000 materials, according to CIPS.org. Mueller said that each of the suppliers faces their own challenges in resuming operations. And it's not just everyday consumer goods that are going to be feeling the impact of the virus. Federal law enforcement in Seattle sought an average of 1 court order a day to disclose people's sensitive information, such as calling history, in the first half of 2019, according to a report released this year. The report, the first of its kind by the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington, shows that officials sought 182 applications and orders for electronic surveillance between January and June 2019. Activist Post reports that such surveillance orders do not require law enforcement to get a warrant and are directed to third parties like phone companies, email providers, and other online services to demand private and revealing information about their users. Although the report does not provide specifics on the services or individuals targeted by the surveillance orders, it does detail how federal law enforcement in the region are using various forms of surveillance. The report is a result of a lawsuit by EFF's client, The Stranger. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. The nation's last remaining themeless restaurant has closed. This is Doyle Redland reporting. A once vibrant era came to an end today when Pat's Place, the nation's last themeless restaurant, closed its doors in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. During the heyday of themeless restaurants, Pat's Place achieved a certain amount of notoriety for its unique non-themed food items and unadorned atmosphere. But according to owner Patrick Baines, the times have changed.
Lately, we've had only a handful of people coming in to gawk at our posterless walls and mundanely named menu items like hamburgers or pancakes, and then they go someplace like the Rainforest Cafe or Johnny Rockets to actually eat.
Plans are now in the works to convert the Pat's Place location into Cedar Rapids' 7th Patty-O Touchdown sports bar and good time internet grill. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And so, evidently, the data shows that 1.1% of Bitcoin transactions were illicit in 2019, which is fitting considering that the government raised its spending by more than 20% from 2018 to 2019. Also, a 22,000% increase from 2015, all to investigate this 1.1% of Bitcoin transactions that are allegedly illicit in some way.
Yeah, this is from an article that's talking about the various amounts of money that's being spent to find out where the Bitcoin's going and what agencies are spending what.
Yeah, and according to them, this company that takes several $1 million a year in government contracts, only 1.1% of Bitcoin transactions are illicit, which is probably about the number of USD transactions in a given year. Although that's so much harder to trace.
Trace the USD transactions?
Yeah. In fact, I would imagine it's probably higher with the USD based on the people who are just buying like $25 worth of weed or whatever here and there.
Yeah, well, the paper, of course, but the USD in the bank, that's certainly very, very traceable.
Sure. Yeah.
You have to ask for permission at each point along the way to send it. So there's lots of little gatekeepers. And so somebody in there can say, no. Matter of fact, we're going to keep your money. And what account? You don't have an account anymore. Who are you?
Oh, man, I've been through that so many times with banks.
Yeah.
And it never stops being
They usually
frustrating.
don't jack the money. They usually will send you a check eventually.
Feels like
they
you've been
always
jacked
have
until
in
you
my
get your
case.
money.
But, oh yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
went
going
in-
on 6.5 months now that Capital One has been holding two of my accounts essentially hostage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just consider that money gone. If it ever shows up one day, be really, just
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, look, I got I was taxed return.
Yeah.
And these weren't like small accounts or anything. They were fairly successful. It was in my early days. It was one of my earliest accounts to get shut down. So, I wasn't doing the transaction volume that I am now, but it's more money than I want Capital One to have at the very least. What's funny is that these idiots are continuing to pay interest on my accounts that they have frozen and froze in early August.
So if you get your money back, you might get a little bonus to go along with it.
Yeah, very slightly, because what is the actual amount of interest that banks pay on accounts? It's super
like
low.
1% maybe.
I doubt it's even 1%.
Yeah, it's a scam.
I think it's probably been 5 cents between both accounts in the last 6.5 months.
Wow.
They still send every single month. These idiots send me a statement. And the only thing on that statement is the interest gained for that month, because I cannot use the accounts that these idiots have frozen.
There are lots of people there that need jobs, and that's what they're doing, is just sending out this randomness.
And it's impossible to get in touch with them. You can email them, you can call them, but they'll call you back. And then, of course, they never do.
Yeah, if you just figure the money's gone, just there's surrender and knowing that, there's nothing you can really do about it, so,
No, it's like the post office.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong there, you can complain all you want, but nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I actually I went into the TD Bank down on West Street, and I gave them very loudly my opinion of the situation, and all of a sudden I could get them on the phone after that, because they didn't want that to happen again. They didn't like it very much.
My experience with TD was relatively benign. They did close my account within 3 weeks of even opening the thing, but they gave me my money then, at the time that they closed the account.
Yeah, they held mine for 3 weeks, and they wouldn't. I could not get any response out of them, and finally, I just went in and I started chewing ass, and that fixed it.
And none of these problems exist with cryptocurrency.
Nope, don't have to ask for anybody. Well, you shouldn't have to ask for anybody's permission. If you have a Coinbase account or some other app you have to log into and likely gave them your ID, you likely don't hold the Bitcoin or whatever crypto it is.
Yeah.
You have a picture of it.
But if you're using the Edge wallet or something like that, then you don't need anyone's permission to use your cryptocurrency.
Correct.
There's no one who can say, no, we don't want you to complete this transaction, so we're not going to allow it.
That system has still got some back ends. They all do. They all have to talk to something on the back end. So if something went down, it's quite possible. So the real way is you have a dedicated computer that has the whole copy of the blockchain for whatever currency you want, and then that way it's supposedly not, you can't be blocked that way, but
true.
It's a lot of work in that. So be your own bank comes with a lot of responsibility.
So the U.S. government is now spending more and more money to trace the small number of illicit transactions that I can't even imagine what people are buying on the dark web with Bitcoin, because to me, being a crypto enthusiast and a privacy enthusiast and a tech person, the idea of using Bitcoin to make an illicit purchase is reckless in the extreme. Now, maybe in 2014, I wouldn't have seen it that way, but this isn't 2014.
It sounds like a public service announcement.
Yeah. One should not be using Bitcoin for illicit transactions. And what's scary...
One does not simply send Bitcoin to the
Not-
dark web market.
Not for
That'd be like
AK-47s or
marching into Mordor.
It would be more like marching up to the IF Sauron with an ID in your hand for him to see.
Is that a Lord of the Rings reference?
Yeah, well, so was his.
Yeah, both of them were.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole thing is bizarre and reckless. No matter how many mixers you send it through, it's traceable. And it will always be traceable. It just is a matter of some company like Chainalysis with contracts with the FBI to trace it back to you.
Well, with any luck, by the time all that technology catches up, this thing will just dissolve, and hopefully no other thing will spring up, and it won't be a problem.
Yeah, but still, Monero's easier and safer.
Yeah, it's supposed to be private by default, so that means you don't have to do any sort of crazy wizardry to send your value from one person to another and worry about somebody knocking on your door.
So today, Chainalysis federal money comes from many corners: the FBI, the DEA, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who owns the Department of Homeland Security, evidently, financial regulators and the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the Federal Crimes Enforcement Network, that's FinCEN, the IRS, the Secret Service, the TSA, even from the Air Force.
Sounds like a band of bandits.
Yeah, the axis of evil there.
It sounds like an employment program. It sounds like a government jobs program, really.
I got lots of them. Till the money, you don't buy bread no more.
Most of these have signed six-figure deals with Chainalysis, although some agencies spend more than others. For instance, the TSA spent $40,000 on one contract, while the IRS, Chainalysis' biggest federal partner, just bask in that statement for a moment, spent $4.1 million over 5 years. So it's not even the fact that some small number of Bitcoin transactions are illicit that the government cares about. It's that the IRS wants to tax it.
Yeah,
they want to find out who's got the crypto.
It's my understanding they don't care what you... I'm told they don't care what you do for a living as long as you tell them how much you make. And I guess this year on some of the forums, there's a box you check about using cryptocurrency, and that's it.
Yeah, wow. I don't know. I don't do taxes, and I certainly don't intend to inform the IRS of any crypto holdings that I may or may not have.
No, thank you.
It's none of the IRS's business. What do you think? Give us a call. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Florida officials announced today its plan to experiment with new 600-lever voting machines.
The machine operates through a very straightforward process that we think is going to give Floridians the peace of mind that their votes will be counted. The voter turns on the machine using these 30 levers at the top and then enters their names and social security numbers using the alphanumeric levers near the bottom here. Right about now, the voter's going to have to find the two levers on the machine that are exactly identical and pull them at the same time. Then they're going to have to...
The new 22-foot-tall steam-powered machines, which officials are hailing as, quote, the future of voting, each feature over 45 separate panels of levers, along with an intricate series of valves, knobs, cranks, and pumps, all designed to streamline the electoral process.
Now, some of this may seem confusing, but every voter will be given a comprehensive 2,200-page manual when they enter their precinct that will explain exactly what to do.
This is the Onion News Network.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And you know, by the time you're ready to retire, Social Security is likely not to exist. The government taxes the ever-loving crap out of 401ks unless you're eligible for Social Security or something. I don't know what the rules and restrictions are, but it's a nightmare to get your money out of 401k anyway. With the current state of the federal debt being $23 trillion freaking dollars and unfunded liabilities at more than 5 times that, you can't wait to take control of your money. So don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead, build a plan. Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and with as little government involvement as possible. His new book, called The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. Get your free copy now at cfoproject.com. That's cfo-project.com. So go get your copy of his free book today. There's no reason to wait. And the longer you wait to take control of this crap, the likelier it is that the government is going to destroy it before you can take control of it, because that's what the government does best.
Yeah, I think they depleted a lot of people's savings during this 2008 thing and other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. And then you had Wells Fargo doing its crap. It's been fined $3 billion, which is nothing to Wells Fargo, first of all, for 15 years of illegal practices that affected millions of customers, including opening up secret accounts in customers' names that they then drew interest from or something. I don't know. Who knows what banks do?
I think it was a thing where the people who started accounts, they got some sort of bonus, and, you know, probably got like $30 for every new account they got started. And hey, go figure, you can cheat the system.
Yeah. But it was Wells Fargo that was cheating the system and not the customers in that case.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That $3 billion was paid to the gang that gave them the license to do business?
Yep, Pretty much.
That sounds like it works like it's supposed to.
I've actually, Wells Fargo, thumbs up as far as doing business with them. My account with Wells Fargo is like 1 week away from being 6 months old. And that's amazing for me these days.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need more crypto banks.
Infant mortality on bank accounts is outrageous.
Yeah, I think my shortest one was 2 weeks. I think that was with the Cheshire Credit Union over here, and that was so much fun. When I went in there and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to freeze the account and turn it over to the feds and get them." Wait, stop. What do you mean by the feds? Because I assumed, being a bank, they meant the Federal Reserve banks, but no. They then specified, FinCEN, the FBI, those sorts of federal agencies. I was like, oh, well, can you just close the account and give me back my money then?
Yeah, the people
I don't want to deal with that.
The people that give them the license to do the job, that's who they're turning the people over to that they don't like.
I love how these banks offer all of these services. When you go to sign up for them, they have all of these pamphlets. It's, oh, look, you can do this and you can do that. But if you do any of those things, they're going to close your account. All they want you to do is get your debit card and enter your PIN number at the ATM or at a store. If you do anything outside of that, they will close your account. It's just a matter of when.
They want their percentage every time you use the card or whatever metadata you leak out there about, what you bought on what day, how old you are.
And they don't want the competition. It's like all of a sudden with crypto, you don't really need a bank.
No, you don't have to ask for somebody's permission to control your own value.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. How free are you if you can't go and, work and build some capital and something you believe in and then take that value that you have and be able to move it when and where you want it.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting back to the story about Chainalysis and the various stuff going on with them in the government, what exactly are these government agencies buying? Well, it's tricky to actually state this with certainty. Many of the contracts are short on details because, of course, they are. This is the government. They're not going to tell you what they're buying.
I can't imagine there's a lot of detail in that $2,000 contract.
With 29 mentioning various product licenses, 5 noting, quote, reactor software, and others a cryptic mix of telling and vague. The Department of the Air Force has spent over $110,000 on Bitcoin cryptocurrency transactions. Whatever the hell that means.
Doesn't sound like a lot of money. I mean, I hate to make them sound like they need to be spending more money, but it's like they don't need me to tell them that.
Yeah. Yeah, $110,000 is not much.
Their coffers are full of money that they took from people and didn't ask any permission to get it, so they can spend on all the stupid things they want without asking.
But the company, and I'm looking at this now because there's something related here that I had to look into. What is Series B? I'm going to have to look into that shortly. They're evidently, Chainalysis only has 3 products: Reactor, KYT, and Cryptos. Only Reactor, its flagship transaction visualization software, has been around for more than a year. I don't like the sound of this company at all.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're a Trojan horse and they're doing the Bitcoin gods' work in there, and so all the information they're feeding them is garbage.
I would hope so, but I doubt it. Reactor is Chainalysis' investigatory workhorse. It visualizes cryptocurrency movement across a blockchain and flags addresses associated with illicit activity. That sounds almost like it would be fun to look at. Like Googling yourself, essentially. Like, let's see what happens with my Bitcoin addresses. Because once you send Bitcoin to someone, you really have no way of knowing what they're doing with it. And I don't want to know what people are doing with it.
It's not... If you buy something from the store, they don't ask you what you're going to take it home and do with it.
No.
It's none of their business.
And this is sort of an issue because Bitcoin addresses can be sinkholed and things like that, like the $80 million or whatever it was worth that was stolen from Mt. Gox. That Bitcoin has never moved.
Nope.
because it's going to be immediately flagged and all exchanges are going to reject it. So it's useless from now until the end of time.
Well, you could probably chip off little pieces, but like that's.
But as soon as you do, people are going to know. And because it's Bitcoin, it's always going to be traceable back to the Mt. Gox addresses.
Yeah, the problem with exchanges blacklisting stuff is that becomes a nightmare because you could get coins that like just happen to be from some North Korea thing, and then the exchange then begins tying up accounts, and like that becomes a pretty big nightmare for them.
Yeah, I don't check when I get coin whether it came from Mt. Gox, so...
Well, we know that it didn't because that Bitcoin has never moved. But, somebody out there could be selling heroin on the darknet for Bitcoin and then turning around and selling that Bitcoin on an exchange. And then by sheer coincidence, I go to buy Bitcoin from that exchange and I end up with currency that has been used in illicit transactions, totally beyond my control.
Same thing happens with dollars.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
I want to say thank you to Eric Haley, who is tonight's amplifier. He's a silver amplifier, which means he gives $5 per month to the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. And that's all we ask for membership in the program. If you like what we do, the AMP program allows you to help us to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live, hence its name. Money contributed to this program is used specifically for that purpose, not for anything else. It's just to get the show on more radio stations and more ad plays and things like that. So thank you so much, Eric Haley. It also comes with a number of cool little perks like the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only chat room on discord.freetalklive.com, and even an AMP-only call-in line at discord.freetalklive.com. So check it out. If you like the show and you want to help us reach a larger audience, you might consider joining. That's amp.freetalklive.com. Now, we've been talking about cryptocurrency and the government. And the government doesn't like cryptocurrency because it's a threat to the government's control of our money. And obviously, what we want is for the government to not control our money, because the governments throughout history have a well-known habit of destroying people's money by paying for wars and crap like that. All of which are things that I don't want to pay for anyway.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Bitcoin allows me to buy and sell things without inadvertently paying for bombs.
Yeah, Bitcoin's not bombs.
Taking the value out of their money by trading something else, I think, is the number one thing we can do to stop the war machine.
Plus,
or at least slow it down.
Look at all of the levels of control that are implemented on the USD. We've been talking about the banking system and all of the little gatekeepers it has, where you have several people signing off on transactions before you're actually allowed to use, quote, your money.
Rent seekers, right?
Rent seekers?
Rent seekers.
Oh, people who just want a cut of it or whatever?
Like these companies have found like I've heard the analogy from Andreas Antonopoulos about these companies that just find a revenue stream that they can put a straw into, and they just pull a little off the top, and they bow down for whatever license, and then they get a little of your value, and just keeps on and on and on and on. So.
And what about merchants? Well, there's plenty of reason for merchants to take cryptocurrency, especially over debit cards and credit cards, because merchants have to pay a % of every transaction to take credit and debit cards.
Generally 3% plus.
With cryptocurrency, they don't have to do that.
No, the sender pay is all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it's significantly lower. If you pay 3% to send a transaction, then you should not send that transaction.
Yeah, it probably means you're using Bitcoin.
Yeah, at the worst possible time to use Bitcoin. Like back when it was $18,000 and there were just thousands of transactions in the mempool at any given time. Sure.
$60 was the biggest pain I took on that.
Yeah.
There were a few of those.
You did a $60
transaction.
Good Lord.
You send and receive transactions all through the thing, so you see them up pretty high. And at the time, I moaned about it. And yeah, it certainly feels high to send something from one place to another. But again, even at $60, I didn't have to ask anybody's permission.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's still
true.
easier than going down to the bank and saying, "Would you please send some of my money to these people that I trust, and maybe today?"
And transactions being that expensive on the Bitcoin network were that was a relatively uncommon thing.
Right.
And it didn't last very long because, of course, then the bottom fell out and Bitcoin just crashed like a freaking brick.
Yeah, and I think that's a significant reason that the bottom fell out. Without that, without that abject failure of Bitcoin to make their stuff scale, I don't think that the collapse would have happened when it did.
It didn't fail for me. It just cost a little bit more to do what I was normally doing.
I think for the average user, though, it failed spectacularly. I would definitely agree with that assessment.
Yeah, I saw people with transactions that were hung for 2 weeks, and it's just like, that's unacceptable.
Well, probably because, it's very so the estimation software that creates those fees so people don't have to enter in the actual amounts and do the math, which I don't do. I use the wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Very likely they maybe saw that transaction fee was going to be $26, right? So then they set it to low, the worst possible time to set your transaction that might be important to you. But, it just forces people to kind of learn, okay, why is the transaction going up? Because people are using the thing that you're liking so much.
I would still argue, though, that even needing the option to set a high transaction to prioritize set a high transaction fee to prioritize your transaction is a failure. Bitcoin. You don't have to do that with Dash or Bitcoin Cash. They don't even have the option in mobile wallets to be like, oh, yeah, I want to expedite this, so let's make the transaction fee higher. That's unique to Bitcoin.
Okay, so you can't make the change in like a Dash wallet?
I'm sure you can, but like if you use the Coinami wallet or even the Edge wallet, it gives you the option right there before you send.
I think a lot of OGs are used to sending, being able to choose their fee. So maybe that's like you say, maybe it's a feature that you need the wallet that doesn't ask you. It just sends the fee for whatever.
I think it's a fix to an inherent flaw in Bitcoin, though. I think it's a bandage.
That you can change the fee?
Not that you can change the fee, but it's almost necessary at times to change the fee to high just to get your Bitcoin transaction confirmed within a few days.
Well, it's a flaw that's inherent in having full blocks. And,
yes,
of course,
which Bitcoin SV beautifully alleviated recently.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin SV beautifully alleviated that problem recently.
Every time I hear that sound, I don't know how we can. It's difficult to take that serious if literally Craig Wright is the guy talking about this thing.
Yeah,
but it was a good
unfortunate
idea
that he's involved in it. Although there are some, and it has some good features, but yeah, I have a hard time getting enthusiastic about anything that Craig Wright is involved in. It would be nice if they forked Bitcoin SV and kept the features but dumped Craig Wright.
That might not be such a fair statement on my part because I've heard lots of people who of different cryptos that say things that maybe are a little lunacy, but maybe I still use their cryptos because I don't know they work. So
well, Craig Wright just thinks he's Satoshi, or he wants everyone to think he's Satoshi. I'm not convinced he's insane. I think he thinks a lot of people are very, very stupid.
Yeah, he certainly has a very, I would perceive his attitude as condescending whenever he's talking to almost anybody.
But Bitcoin SV did do at least that one good thing, which was removing the block size limits.
Time will tell if it was good or not.
Well, it's good for users because now miners have to compete with one another to get transactions, instead of transactions competing with one another by paying higher fees to get miners to take note of their transactions.
Yeah, I think what little I know is that as the blocks get bigger, then it gets harder for nodes to upload them unless they have magnificent computers with magnificent internet connections.
Yeah, it allows processing power to determine the block size instead of an arbitrary number coded in order to make miners wealthier by forcing users to compete with one another.
Yeah, but if I get like a 10 gig block, I'm not running a node on my 2 meg connection at home.
No, you're never going to mine that block.
Yeah, that would have to be hosted on some mega computer.
Well, even a mega, there's no ASIC out there that could mine a block that was 10 gigabytes in size. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We got a special episode of the Edgington Post coming up in just a moment when we get back. That, of course, is Mark Edge, who's going to tell you about I don't know, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me at the moment because I'm really awesome. But this is Free Talk Live.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Janess has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to gcnlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to gcnlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help! Seriously, I'm too young for hair loss.
Talking about his book, American Secession, The Looming Threat of
I got this
a National
bald
Breakout.
spot.
Frank, you there?
It's thinning everywhere. I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs, and a free gift card to anyone who texts KIT88 to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text KIT88 to 85850. KIT88 to 85850.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's another edition of the Edgington Post Show, and I am Mark Edge, coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. And I've got for you another great interview today. F.H. Buckley, talking about his book, American Secession, The Looming Threat of a national breakup. Frank, you there?
I am there. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, pretty much any time I get word from George Mason, one of its professors or fellows wishes to chat about something, it's usually something cool. So I'm happy to take this interview, and it's a topic that I like to talk about. So your thesis is that the secession is on the horizon, that America is more divided than it's ever been, right?
Right. Yeah. And it could happen. It's not constitutionally impossible. It wouldn't be violent. It would be peaceful, and maybe a lot of good stuff would come from it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are caught up in the notion that somehow a secession, because some people shot at an American fort ill-advisedly back in the 1860s, that somehow secession must mean millions die.
Right. That was South Carolina. Hopefully that wouldn't happen again. But, I went through this. I moved to the States from Montreal. So I lived through a secession crisis in Montreal. And, it was completely peaceful. Heck, it was more peaceful than life is in America today when you get down to it. And there was nothing like real violence. What precipitated all of this, what got English speakers in Quebec going, was something called Bill 101, which was frankly pretty anti-English. Well, we Montrealers called it Bill 401. It's the name of the highway between Montreal and Toronto.
Huh.
So several 100,000 Montrealers just up and moved to Toronto, which was a boring city, okay, but, livable. And that's how these things happen. So there's sorting out right now between Los Angeles and Dallas, and between Chicago and Fort Worth, and we just see more of that.
So are we seeing Democrats moving to more Democratic states, or are they tending to stay where they are, whereas Republicans pick up and move?
Well, I think they follow their jobs, and the jobs growth tends to be in places like Texas and not in California at this point.
So you're claiming that Democrats don't work and Republicans do?
No, Democrats, the ones that do work, move to Texas. The ones that don't work stay in L.A.
I see. Yeah, Dallas seems to be turning a bit more blue right now.
Yeah, that is happening. I don't know how it's going to work out. Frankly, I think a lot of liberals are saying, oh, yeah, we're going to take Texas. No, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. Not anytime really soon. But I do think that Al Gore was correct when he said there's two Americas. At the time, I'm sure he felt the nation was divided in, 1999, 2000 when he said it? Mm-hmm. But it seems like the nation's really divided these days, that somehow the Obama presidency and the Trump presidency have really driven a wedge to the point that Americans not only are divided, but can't even understand the position of the other side.
Well, I think it was more Trump than Obama. I mean, Obama got elected in 2008, and what conservatives and libertarians did was they sucked it up, okay? Liberals are not so good at sucking things up. I think it gets down to kind of liberal imperialism. In 1992, Irving Kristol said the culture wars are over, the left won. And 2016 was kind of a wake-up call, because up to that point, whoever the president was, I think liberals thought they had property rights in America and our culture. And then you get 2016, and all of a sudden, it's not like that. So the big change happens, I think, after 2016. I mean, really precipitous drop.
I think that to some extent, the identity politics notion was bolstered by the Obama presidency. And I'm not blaming Barack Obama. I'm not saying he did anything, but I think that a lot of people looked at it and said, this is it. We got a black president, and we're going to finally get these really good ideas that we've got, and we're going to get them pushed through, and everybody's going to agree with us because it is awesome, and we are awesome. And I don't think that, I disagree. No. I think that if the most interesting thing about you is your sex or your gender, or excuse me, I don't even know what those things are. Sex, gender, racial identity, whatever it is that's the most interesting thing about you, you're a boring person.
Absolutely right. I'm the last guy who believes in don't ask, don't tell, because I don't want to know too much information. Spare me. I don't want to know. I'm not curious about that stuff.
Right.
Keep it to yourself. Okay, but really, you're right about 2008. You're right about Obama, But conservatives, don't get so worked up. Our life is not so wrapped up in politics generally, okay? Whereas on the other side, that's how they're defined. And it was a psychic shock, which they didn't really get over. And so you have 3 years of resistance and, he is not my president and permanent impeachment and nonsense of a kind we've never seen before. And so, listen, I lived through this in Montreal and we're much more divided and much less, frankly, polite than Canadians were in the secession referendum back then. I lived through it, and I had friends. I was opposed to secession. My French Canadian friends wanted it. We all got along. Okay, it's not like that here.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get along. Friendships are broken. Family relations are broken.
They are. Yes. I mean, right now, there are people in my family and friends that I've had that have this Trump derangement syndrome. Mind you, I did not vote for Donald Trump. I did not vote for Hillary Clinton either. I prefer to vote for the person who most, mirrors my belief system and has a chance of winning. So I voted for Gary Johnson. I'm not saying he's perfect, but that's who I voted for.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, most of my friends at Mason did pretty much the same thing. I supported Trump. Frankly, I wrote speeches for Trump. And, my answer to libertarians was, take a look at where we are on rankings of economic freedom in Cato, and then take a look at where we'll be in about 3 years' time. And I think you might come around. So with all the nonsense, with all the bluster, with all the bullying of Trump, more positive than negative. But that's another story. I mean, the real story here is this is not accepted by people on the left. And, what is keeping us back from thinking about secession is, number one, the idea this might lead to violence, and it won't. I mean, it'll be wonderful for U-Haul, but that's about it. And number two, the idea is that it's constitutionally impossible, and that's not true. So my book was in part a kind of how-to guide. This is how you do it, and it's doable.
Yeah, American Secession, F.H. Buckley. So, and you can find that on Amazon. It's that easy to find. Now, like I agree with you. I don't think that a secession is necessarily a good idea. If we could somehow take a state and pop it out and make it libertarian, oh yeah, I'm there, you got me. If it's completely separate from the United States, fine, we'll figure out how to make the economy work. However, what I believe is happening in the world, I can stick my finger in the wind and see what's happening is that there's these federations. So there's a European Union and there's a whole variety of them. You don't hear about them most of the time, but these nations are binding together, not falling apart. So there's super governmental organizations out there. And frankly, that's what the United States federal government is. They don't call states for no reason at all. They call them states because the definition of a state is an organization that has a monopoly privilege over the use of violence in a given landmass. A state is the most powerful organization. The United States is a federation of states, and the president is supposed to be weak like they were in the first 15 of them.
So listen, I teach at George Mason at Scalia Law School. I teach a course on the framers, and they got it right? They wanted states to have a lot of power, and they were really worried about an imperial presidency. So I love that stuff. But how do you get there from here? And one way of getting there is, well, when you start the ball rolling, if one state wants out, no state has the right to secede, because when you secede, let's say there's a secession referendum, that just begins a process of negotiation. And where that would lead to, I would hope, would be kind of federalism on steroids, which would be something like, the way it was in 1787 or 89 when the country began. That would be a way of sorting ourselves out. Libertarians in particular, I should think, would like the idea of secession because you get rid of one level of government just like that, and the bad one too. Okay, and then there are some guys who say, this is a regulatory state where unelected bureaucrats tell us what to do. Well, that regulatory state is the Code of Federal Regulations, and it's in Washington. And some people say, well, we've got a swamp. We've got all those interest groups, but they're in K Street. They're
Frank,
not in Dover.
I'm going to have to hold you right there for a second. If you want to hear the rest of this interview, I'm going to talk to Frank Buckley about his whole book, American Secession. And
you will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders